I'm going to try to nap this piece from Garrett. Just because he tried napping it, and that means he's familiar with the consistency, and I'll be able to show him maybe what the potential is for napping something like this. Okay. So, normally I'd use steel for this. But where's my steel rods? I've stashed them. So yeah, I'm going to ruin my copper rods. Yeah, I'm going to ruin my copper. Take one for the team and ruin the copper for this stuff. What is it? Doesn't matter. But look at the grain. And how not shiny it is. The graininess. I didn't mean look at the grain. I meant look at the graininess. He's got incipient cracks all over the place. So he's using percussion on it. Alright, so we're going to start with percussion, but indirect percussion with copper. Copper can be used for anything, yes. It just ruins it. Ruins the copper tools quicker than most things. I'm going to be probably using that belt sander for dressing the tool quite often. Oh yeah, I was going to measure it. So you start out with 4 inches. The width on this is like 2 inches. The thickness on this is like 1 inch. Yeah, a little bit less than 1 inch, something like that. Something like that. Okay. It's not going to be fun. No. It's just not enjoyable or challenging. It's just going to be pain. Yeah. Just going to be lots of pain. But you can see maybe the potential of it. Alrighty? Alright. So let me see. I already know what it's going to be like because I've napped this before. This kind of stuff. Maybe not this exact material. But people have handed me stuff like this at nap-ins. People have asked me to nap stuff like this before. So I kind of know what's going on. Yeah. That's how I knew I was going to eat up the copper. Did I nap stuff like this when I first started? Almost. It wasn't quite this tough. When I first started, there's no way I could nap stuff like this. It would just end up being a little almond. Yeah. At that time, when I first started, even with the indirect percussion that I developed, I was still not using the mass of the workpiece against itself all that much. So what I would do is I'd have a hard time holding it because I had in my brain from other nappers, you need to support it and slow down the strikes. And that's just the opposite. Loose and fast strikes. So use the mass of the workpiece against itself. Why does that work better? Because it's less fatiguing, believe it or not. When you strike fast, the mallet does the work for you. You don't have to be holding it stiff. Now, do I hold it stiff sometimes? Yep, I sure do, especially when it starts getting thinner and lighter. I do have to brace it more than when it's heavy like this. I went for a rock. I went for a walk this morning and found a rock that I might be able to use as an abrader. Now, it's too soft. Yeah, it's too soft for this. It's not doing anything. See that? The abrader is actually coming off on this. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the other Industrial abrader. Much better. See, I think this will work on, softer material. This is kind of like a sandstone. Yeah, it's a sandstone. It does work as an abrader, but it's not very good for really tough stuff. I got a big old stone also. I could use as an abrader. It's also quartzite, similar to this, but it's a big old rock. And I can just on a big old rock to abrade. If I wanted to use something natural instead of this artificial abrader. Why do I mention that? Because I went for a walk today looking for rocks to see if there's anything interesting in the park. And as usual, there was not. The water is rushing by. I mean, the river has lots of water rushing through it, and sometimes it'll wash away a part of the bank and reveal the stones that are in the bank. Sure enough, that's what it did. But it reveals a lot of these river stones that are kind of cool, but not very useful for knapping. Unfortunately, it might be useful for some things. There's a crack right in here, and I don't know if that's an incipient or a natural crack. I gotta get rid of that. Yes? Yeah, it's a natural crack probably. Right in there. Can't have that. So what am I doing? I'm just regularizing it. What is regularizing? Making it more consistent. I'm hitting it super duper hard to get some of them turtlebacks off. Yeah. The flakes do run a little ways on this, but it's an athletic thing to knap something like this. It's really going to put a strain on everything. You got to be able to think while using maximum force at the same time. Yeah, hit it extremely hard to get those off like that. Yep. And I regularize it before I do those strikes so that I know where the best places are to hit. You can make it more even and less wonky. It'll show you, where you can hit better than if it's all nasty and wonky. If it's all regular, you'll see better where you can strike. And this does not want to grind down at all. Nope. It's going to be an issue later when I get thinner. Yeah. Because I need to grind it a lot when it gets thinner so I don't crush the edge or put too much bending stress on it. And sometimes I put too much bending stress on it if I'm just hitting on a flat surface that has not been abraded, but I'm looking for a spot to hit. It can actually pull too much on it. What can I make out of something like this? A double pointed point. I can make an agate basin out of this. Will it actually be sharp and usable? Good question. I don't know yet. I do not know. See, like that isn't, I didn't abrade that, right? That's just a flat part of that edge. That pulls a lot, so I can't really be doing that toward the ending. So I need to be able to abrade a lot to get a nice firm seat for the tool to strike hard. So if it's difficult to abrade, it's not going to make it strong enough and it's going to be crushy. Or it's not going to remove a long flake. Or both. Yeah, this resists grinding quite a bit. Not easy to abrade, which is good for a durable edge. You need a durable edge for something. Like scraping hides, you don't need to keep re-chipping it. But it just makes napping, not pleasant. It's already taking its toll. Yeah, I'll use this end to continue before I have to redress the whole thing. There we go. Flatten this one side. People have watched me nap this kind of stuff before, and they don't know much about this kind of material. And I go, that looks pretty easy. They don't know. They're so innocent. You know, they say, "Oh, that looks like it's napping pretty well." It doesn't want to. It does not want to nap like this. It does not. It's hating every minute of it. Yeah. The rock is hating every minute of this. It's not happy at all. It is highly upset. Don't make any mistake. Make no mistake. The rock is fuming with anger right now. It doesn't even want to be anything like this. Nope. The only reason why it's not step fracturing like this everywhere is because I've been napping long enough to know how to avoid those. And to avoid those, I just got to make sure I can run a flake long enough to where that doesn't happen. Don't go too far with the flakes. Make sure that the edge is strong enough. But yeah, it does not like this at all. It wants to break also. Says, you keep doing that, I'm gonna break. I wanna make sure I break. Yeah, I know. I've seen your buddies before. Yeah. I've seen your Quartzite buddies before. They all do the same thing. You guys go to the same school. Yeah. The school of non-cooperation. I know you guys already. I'm talking about this rock. This type of rock. Okay. Come on. What am I gonna do next? I don't know. Every flake here is sneaking up on it somehow. But it's just mostly brute force. I'm sneaking up on it, yeah, but most of it's brute force. And what I mean by sneaking up on it is I'm just taking my time. Believe it or not. You know, kind of tiptoeing a little bit, making sure I don't hit in the wrong spots that are dicey. No spot is actually wrong. It's just some spots are more dicey than others. So the more risky it is, the more wrong it is, so to speak. Yeah. You don't want to be too risky. What makes it risky? Just hitting it really, really hard and risking the overshots and risking the snap in half. It can snap in half with a lot of these strikes. I'm staying just to this side of non-breakage. Yeah. How do I know where it'll break? I don't know. After many years, you get to kind of know how to back off so it won't break. It doesn't always work. You don't know exactly how far to back off. But yeah, you gotta learn how to back off a little bit depending on the material. It's mostly by feel. And not by looking at it. How is it holding up? It's getting battered. All right, so this is the first stage. It's a biface that I would stash it like this. The next stage is the thinning stage and the shaping to get it into a preform. And from the preform stage, I can start to finish it out. But this is the biface, the end of the bifacing stage, and now I'm going to go into the thinning or the sweat stage. So I'm going to dress up the tool. All right. All right, so just semicircular. And there's better shapes than that, but when I do it semicircular, it's just the same every time. I find it more productive just to do it the same way every time than to try to do it with different shapes of the tooltip. That was good. Yeah, I hit it hard enough to overshoot it. It was lucky that it traveled that far. Okay, so let's see. Okay. I might be able to get it thinned down actually. When it starts to step fracture really bad, I know I need to back off. So it hasn't arrived at that stage yet, but it probably will soon. Back off from the thinning attempts. once it starts to step fracture really bad. We'll see. It's either going to start to step fracture really bad or it'll break in half. Hopefully it won't break in half. Hopefully it'll show me that it's got its limits by step fracturing instead of snapping in half. Yikes. To thin it, I gotta hit it really, really, really hard, and I don't know where to hit it without snapping it. When it gets difficult, just zigzag it. Yep. It does not like this one bit. It's going, what in the wide, wide world of sports going on here? What in the wide, wide world of napping is going on? I should nap this during the live stream so you can see how hard I'm hitting this. Yeah. You're not getting the full experience, I guarantee. Some of you might still be saying, that looks like a nap's pretty easy. Okay. That's okay. You can think that. It doesn't bug me all that much. Because I know that once you start napping, you'll find out the truth. So I don't even need to tell you. I don't need to tell you. You'll find out. This is a 3/8 inch rod, by the way. If it wasn't 3/8 inches, it would be bending all out of shape. If I was using the 5/16, it'd be all bent out of shape by now. But the 3/8 holds up pretty well as far as not bending when I'm hitting it like this. All right, we're reaching the end of this. We're reaching the end of its tolerance. Yep. It does not want to cooperate. It's getting very upset. It's about to tell me that it's had enough. How would they nap this back in the day? Probably with very skillful hammerstone strikes. Something that small with hammerstone? Yeah, because I cannot see Antler doing very well on this. Now there might be bones out there that I haven't explored that are dense enough to nap on this with an indirect percussion rod of bone. There might be bone out there that is stout enough to handle these heavy strikes. But I think the way they used to nap these back in the day is with hammerstone. Something this tough. And then you can use a pressure flaker on it of antler. I have done it, but it's not easy. Yeah, that's that spot where I had some incipient cracks. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. So just out of curiosity, let me take a couple pressure flakes. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it can be sharpened. Yeah, it takes a lot of force. It takes a lot of force, but it can be sharpened, yes. All right. So let me see. I got something. Hold on. Something's bugging me. I can't be napping when something's bugging me because it affects the napping. I think I have a toothpick in my pocket and it's poking me. Anyways, it's good now. Let's see if we can do the final thinning on this. That hurt right there where that incipient was. I have to narrow that down a little bit more. Okay. Where is it? Yeah, it would grind down a lot better if it was a bigger piece. I know. A bigger chunk of the abrader. But I'm just going to make doo-doo with what I got. Now that was excellent. I'm surprised that actually worked, but I scooped it too much. Yeah, I did not expect that at all. I just wanted a short flake. See how I didn't expect that, so it scooped it out too much? Yeah. Hmm, interesting. It makes it weaker now. It's starting to giggle at me. It's going, see, I can make it snap in half. Yeah. With those unexpectedly good flakes, you can weaken it in the middle. Yep, I know. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. So I'm going to make that the point and this the base. No, I'm gonna make like an agate basin out of it. We don't have to notch it. Yeah, you don't need no notches. Yeah, but I want to notch everything. I want to notch a quartzite. I want to notch a rhyolite. I want to notch everything. I know you do, but oh well. Can't always have everything. Come on. Do we have an incipient or natural crack in the middle? We better not. I've been spending all this time just to look and find a little natural crack right in the middle. That's not good. Yeah, that's not a typical diving flake or anything like that. It's a natural crack right in the middle. No wonder it cooperated a little bit because it knew that it was going to catch up on me. Catch you outside. This is I'll catch you outside. How about that? Yeah, how about that? We'll see. There it goes. Yep. It caught me outside later. Big old defect exactly in the middle. Can't see it from anywhere. Except, yeah, can't see it from anywhere. So that's how you nap quartzite. In case you didn't know. There you go. That's it.